Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for making you wait. I had to delete some storage. But here we are. It's the morning after. The 49ers are not headed to the NFC Championship. Let me hit the intro. Let's talk about it. Oh, my God. Oh, we got some breaking news on the way, too. What's up, faithful? We got breaking news actually just right now from the NFL. That's why I was late. I was like, oh my God, we got breaking news from the NFL. Here we go. The NFL just informed teams today that the 2023 salary cap will be $224.8 million. That's a $16.6 million increase from last year. A $16 million increase. The NFL salary cap is now $224.8 million. Teams are going to be able to spend more. The NFL is a cash cow. This is incredible. This is crazy. This is huge news. That means the 49ers, who have a lot of free agents, which is a big topic of this whole next couple weeks, next couple months. This is huge. Nick Bosa is about to get a bag. And now they're going to be able to. This is crazy news. This is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. $224.8 million per club, per Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport. Crazy. I'm in shambles. I woke up in shambles. This is crazy news. I was going to come in and talk about, oh my God, Demeco Ryans going to Houston. But now, breaking news, the 49ers are going to have $224.8 million to spend. They're going to need it because they got a lot of free agents. You got Samson Ebicam, Charles Omenihu, Robbie Gould, Jimmy Ward, Nick Bosa needs to get paid, Brandon Ayuk, Emmanuel Mosley. Where do we start? I don't know. Last night was crazy. We didn't have a quarterback. I could have played. I could have probably been the quarterback, and we would have had the same result. Probably would have broke my neck, though, so good thing. Somebody want to know why didn't I go to the game? I'm actually, at the end of the day, I'm glad I didn't spend $3,000 to go travel to Philly and probably get yelled and abused at by Philly fans. So that's why I didn't go to the game. It was like $3,000. And I'm happy I saved the money. It would have been nice to go for the experience, for the culture. But I like saving money, and I'm glad I saved $3,000. I can use that money now for a trip. I can go to Disneyland with my daughter this summer because I didn't go to this Eagles game. I can go to Japan if I wanted to. If you know, you know. If because I didn't go to this game, I could go to a lot of places because I didn't go to this game. $3K, save $3K. Laura says, woke up depressed today. I did it. I woke up in a good mood because, again, I'm happy that this team is where it's at. They had a hell of a season. They overachieved at some point. When you think about it, you had a quarterback that wasn't supposed to be where he was. He was a third-string quarterback. He's Mr. Irrelevant, and they took him to the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship, one game away from the Super Bowl. They were this close from going to the Super Bowl. It was a hell of a season, and we didn't even get to see him play in that game, in the NFC Championship. It would have been a different story if Brock Purdy was there, I feel. But you really look at that game. If you rewatch the game and you break it down, to me, it was all about the trenches, and we got dominated in the trenches. Javon Kinlaw got dominated. Mike McGlinchey got dominated. Those were the keys. And Nick Bosa, he played his ass off, hard sweat, blood and tears, all that good stuff. Nick Bosa needs some help on the D-line, and this is tough because Demeco Ryans, this is what we want to talk about. He's meeting with Houston today. He's a very high likely candidate to go to Houston, become their next coach. Who the heck's going to be our DC, right? That's a big question. And who are we going to get to help implement that plan? Because obviously John Lynch has a big say in the defense and the plan, but the DC too on their scheme. And it's a big question. Are we going to change the scheme? Are we going to keep it the same? Who are we bringing in? Kyle's not the defensive guy. He always leaves that to the defensive coordinator. It's a big question this offseason. And if Demeco goes, he's taking players with him. Aziz Al-Shahir, maybe Jimmy Ward, all that good stuff. So, this is a good question. This is a good question. I hate how people are blaming Brock. I do too. And this is what I said earlier this morning when I hopped on Instagram real quick, that Brock Purdy played with a significant injury. Whether it's a UCL tear or not, we're going to find out, right? We don't know if he tore his UCL and he needs surgery. Regardless, the nerve that he had there, it limits you from gripping and throwing and things like that. He said he couldn't throw 5 to 10 yards. Like, if I had that injury, I wouldn't be able to hold this cup like that. And he was out there trying his best to hand the ball off. The only reason he was in the game is, like Eric Davis said last night, is he knew the plays on offense. Like, he's the only one that knew that plays on offense. He could call the plays and get the ball off. Like, we were at the point where we lost our 4th-string quarterback, Josh Johnson, concussion. We had an emergency quarterback situation of Christian McCaffrey and Kyle Juszczyk. So I can't blame anything on Brock. He played hell of a game. He played a hell of a season. Like, he took us to that point, after Trey and Jimmy went down. He comes in, salvages the season, gets us there, miraculous run. A rookie's never been in that point. Like, a rookie never went to a Super Bowl. He could have been the first. Like, that was amazing in itself. I'm proud of Brock. I hope he doesn't need surgery. It sucks, man. It does suck. But I see a lot of people hating on him and saying he's soft and this and that. You go out there, you get the same injury he had last night, and you try to tell me if you can do anything painful. Pain's whatever. You're going to play through pain. But the fact he couldn't grip the ball and throw, like, that's the issue, is the nerve damage. Like, people don't understand that, but people don't understand a lot. It's tough. It's tough, So, I like Richard Sherman for defensive coordinator. I don't know. He's never coached, but he is kind of like that coach mindset. You never know. Maybe he comes in as a positional coach. You never know. Definitely something to think about. There's a lot of candidates. Maybe they go in-house. There's people within the team that they could kind of hire, bring them up. So I know there's old players, Patrick Willis and Bowman. Like, that would be cool for the culture. But have they coached? Like, that's the one thing. And I love it. I love the hype and the idea. Oh, let's bring Bowman in. They haven't coached. That's a big leap to going from retired NFL player to being a coach, a defensive coordinator. It's different. Like, I'm sure they know the game. They know the X's and O's. But having that mindset as a defensive coordinator, as a coach, it's a whole different story. I'd promote Chris Kasurek if he's up to it. So, 49ers says, did Demeco Ryans get the job in Houston? He's interviewing today. It's not that he doesn't care about the Niners anymore. It's his career path. He's trying to upgrade his life. It's not that he is leaving the Niners at all. It's not that he doesn't care about them. It's just when you're presented with a opportunity to move up in life, 9 times out of 10, you should take it because you're going to get more money. You're going to have a better, career path. You're going to help your family. It's just life. It's not that he doesn't care about the Niners. And that's crazy to me because last year he turned down the Minnesota Vikings job to run it back with the Niners to get to this point. He ran it back with this team. He loves the team. But they've given him the opportunity. He's shined in the big stages. And now it's his opportunity to move up and level up in life. So let's see. I think the current linebackers coach is who becomes the next DC. Possibly, definitely, he's well respected. Again, it could be a move within the organization. They could look elsewhere. But as far as coaching, I will trust Kyle and John to bring in someone because they have done a good job of replacing people. When Robert Salah left, they replaced with Demeco, and it's been a great hire. And Kyle and John have had a hell of a coaching staff tree. Kyle's coaching tree has been pretty successful. They've gone elsewhere, and they've all pretty much had big time gigs. He's hired people that have gone on to become head coaches. Mike McDaniel, Salah, and now Demeco Ryans could be the next head coach from his tree. So good stuff. S. Flood says, what about the D-line coach? Yeah, Chris Kasurek could be. Again, it's up to him if he wants to take that spot because you go from a D-line coach, maybe the natural progression, you want to be a DC. More money, more responsibility. I can see it. He's been hell of a positional coach. He's really developed these D linemen. The team loves him. He's got a lot of passion. Definitely could be a position where they give it to Chris Kasurek. Pocket says they should have had a better backup for Purdy. I mean, yeah, looking back in hindsight, definitely should have had a better backup for Purdy. I think they were banking on Jimmy maybe being healthy, because all the reports leading up to it was Jimmy might play, he might be active, he might be active. I feel like that was kind of something in Kyle's mind, like maybe Jimmy's going to be healthy. And again, you don't expect an injury to happen like to Brock last night. It's crazy because Trey goes down, Jimmy goes down, Brock comes in, and then Brock goes down in the biggest game of your season. It was like just bad luck all season. And then to make matters worse, to have salt in the wounds. Salt in the wounds. Your fourth-string quarterback goes down, who's not even good to begin with, but he goes down. Salt in the wounds. But to your point, I get it. They should have probably, looking back at it, Cam Newton was out there. I know people through the season said Baker. Baker couldn't go. They couldn't have even get Baker because he was already claimed. Like the Niners didn't have the waiver priority because the Rams, of course, they went up to them and did what they had to do. But Cam Newton, maybe. I mean, he's better than Josh Johnson. I mean, looking back in hindsight, probably would have been better to have a guy like Cam Newton. I mean, again, we can sit here, look back, hindsight, and rack our minds. It just didn't happen. And the injury to Brock Purdy, it sucks. Right side of the O-line was horrible. Having Croft on Hassan Reddick was horrible. The Devonta Smith replay, they should have challenged that. Like there was a few plays that could have went our way a little differently, and it could have been a whole different game. It's just a game of inches. It's small little details that could have changed the complexion of the game. This question is the question that's going to be all off season, and we don't know who's going to be quarterback next year. I don't know. You're going to hear all types of. You're going to hear Tom Brady. You're going to hear Aaron Rodgers. You're going to hear Brock Purdy. You're going to hear Trey Lance. You're going to hear even Jimmy Garoppolo. You're going to hear every single name out there, but we don't know. The first thing we got to find out is how serious Brock Purdy's injury is. We'll find out today. Like that is a big part of this situation. What is Brock Purdy's injury? Is it a UCL tear? Will he need surgery? If he needs surgery, that's a long road to recovery. So then you'll have him coming off an injury. You have Trey Lance coming off an injury. Two quarterbacks with injuries. Are you going to have them compete? Are you going to name a quarterback as your starter yet? You don't know. And there's going to be a lot of rumors for other people. So honestly, your guess is as good as mine. You have your guess is as good as mine. There's probably going to be an offseason training camp battle. Who knows? But we have to see what the severity of Brock Purdy's injury. That is huge. That is actually huge. So you'll probably hear Lamar Jackson to the Niner rumors. You're probably going to hear me. You probably see me gas it up at some point. Rumors. Oh my God, Lamar Jackson. You're going to see all types of crazy rumors this offseason. So we'll see. You never know. You're going to hear every rumor. You're going to hear Garoppolo to the Niners staying. It's going to be a rumor. Is he going to stay? It's just whether it happens or not. That's to be determined. But you're going to see these rumors. Like just know it. Just let it be known. It's going to be a rumor. It's going to be crazy. Susan says Jimmy might be back. LOL. Like, it's funny. You laugh. But trust me, 100%, the way I know the offseason works, they're going to throw it out there. And it's going to be one of those rumors. Oh, my God. You're going to see someone post about it. So, you'll see. Clip says, my opinion, Niners missed their chances on Brady when they had it, but I would run it back with Trey. I believe in the kid. I like Trey. You got to give him a chance. Number 3 pick in the draft. You got to see where the chips lie, right? You definitely got to give this kid a chance. He's definitely going to get a chance to at least compete. Purdy did some magical things. They got a situation. Again, what did I say the last couple of weeks? This is going to be a crazy offseason. And the crazy thing is, we're literally here again last year, and we were in the same point, the same position last year at the same time. And what was our biggest topic? Quarterback. Flash forward 1 year later, our biggest topic is quarterback. And it's so crazy to me because every year we're like, we got to figure it out. We got it. And here we are again, another offseason talking about quarterback. And again, right now, the biggest issue is defensive coordinator. We don't know if Demeco Ryans is even going to be here in the next couple of days. I couldn't tell you. Probably going to leave. I hope he stays. Last night, Eric Davis said something. He says, I pray that the Niners offer him more money than they pay him right now, give him a raise, and let him stay. And let him wait to take a better opportunity. The Houston job, I wouldn't want that. That's what, maybe a 2-year deal. If you can't turn around that franchise the way the NFL works now, he gone. They don't care. You can't turn around a franchise in 2-3 years. Get out of here. We'll go to the next guy that could be better than you. It's a short leash a lot of times nowadays. I want Demeco to stay, but I don't know. I don't think it happens. So. Susan says, I wish Steve Young had a role in the front office. You and me both. Jorge says, we have our quarterback. Time to build up that O-line 100%. Got to build that line. They got to build the trenches. Right side of the line. D tackles, D line, they got to build the trenches. O line, especially quarterbacks, need protection. Trent is amazing, but we can't clone Trent. We can't make him all over the line. He's good, but even Trent gets tired. You need to beef up that line. You got to give that man some help. O line cannot protect the quarterbacks. Says Brown Panda, 100% agree. 100%. Need to protect the quarterback. Like last night, that was an issue. Hassan Reddick came out. Nobody was on Hassan Reddick last night. You had Tyler Croft on Hassan Reddick. That's like putting me out on Hassan Reddick. That's like putting me out there. All 125 pounds of my skinny ass out there. You put me out there on Hassan Reddick. Brock Purdy's head's decapitated. Last night, this is exactly what happened. Boom. O-line, he gone. It's tough. Rob says, bye, Kinlaw. He did not look good last night. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, he got pushed around. And for him to be, a top 15 pick in the draft, that definitely is something they're going to look into. And I said that last night on one of my streams as defensive tackle is a big need. Defensive tackle is a big need. Just as much as defensive end. Nick Bosa needs some help out there. D tackle is good. Kevin Givens is good depth. McGill, good depth. Those guys are good defensive line rotation players. But they're not elite start. We need elite guys. Like Armstead's good. He does a lot of work, but you need to give him some help. Kinlaw was getting pushed around. You saw that play out there. I think Baldy broke the Baldy breakdown. This man, here's the lineman. Here's Javon Kinlaw, and he flies. He was flying. I believe I can fly. That was Javon Kinlaw. That play. He got pushed, and that wasn't just the only play. It was a lot. And he's a big guy. And I love Kinlaw because he works so. He's tried to be the guy. His knees are not going to allow him to be that guy. He can't plant his feet. He can't plant and move. He's getting pushed off his base easily. Just like Mike McGlinchey in pass protection. You need to fix those two spots. 100%, I agree. So, member of NBA says, Greenlaw played bad last game. I think the thing with Greenlaw is he was too hyped up. He was too excited, too hyped up. He was just, I think he had a lot of hyper pills or something. He had a lot of coffee. Greenlaw was overexcited last night. And I feel a lot of players, they were just too hyped, trying to make a play. And it was not just him. It was a lot of players. There was a lot of penalties. They were very, very undisciplined. You got to fix that. Discipline was an issue this year when we lost games, when this team lost games. Discipline, penalty. Small mistakes, shoot yourself in the foot, turnovers. And those penalties were bad. I mean, some of them were stupid calls, right? They were bad calls, but a lot of them were just boneheaded penalties. Like, come on, you can't do that. You can't do that. Pure frustration, says Batcher. Yeah, it was frustrated, and they were hyped, and they're pissed off, man. Like, the perfect example of what it was last night was Trent Williams, when he took Williams and he just body slammed him on the ground. It was just frustration. They were picking on Debo, they were pulling Debo, and Trent saw it and he says, "Nah, man, you get off my boy." And he took out his frustration. That was how this team probably felt last night, because they didn't get a fair chance to go out there, and you didn't have Brock Purdy. Again, I swear to God, if Brock Purdy was out there, I don't know if they win, but it would have been a lot closer, 100%. I wish we would have at least got the chance to see Brock lead this team last night. I wish, I still love our team. 100%. It's all love. We're a little frustrated. We're a little sad. We're going through the emotions. But this team is amazing. I love them. They got so far 13, a 12-game win streak to end the season. Come on, we're 3-4, 13, a 12-game win streak. It was a magical run. And there was a lot of people hating Kyle last night. Like, they were a lot of Kyle. He threw a bad game. You can't do anything without a quarterback. Like, you literally can't do anything without a quarterback. Kyle did a great job this season. I've given him a lot of crap over the years. I've been very critical. I have. But this season, he really turned things around. He was such a good coach in big situations. He was aggressive when he needed to be. He went through 3 quarterbacks, man. He went through 3 quarterbacks and put this team in a position to get to the Super Bowl with 3 quarterbacks, man. Like, I got to give him a lot of flowers. Give that man a bouquet of flowers. Flowers for Kyle. This man put this team in a perfect position. He just, you ran out of luck last year. You ran out of quarterbacks. You literally ran out of quarterbacks. Kyle Juszczyk was emergency quarterback. Ran out of quarterbacks, man. That's it. Hey, Peter Parks says, Kyle can't call plays when the quarterback is garbage. Like, you might as well have had me out there. Kyle, give me a call. Yo, next time when you're in that situation, just let me be quarterback. I mean, you only have to pay me $100K for that game. I'll take $100K. Can you call me? I'll be your 6th-string quarterback. Emergency. I bet. I could have been out there last night handing the ball off. I could have handed the ball off to CMC. You know, you just give me the playbook. Let me learn the plays for a week. I'm smart. I'm in the medical field. I could learn that playbook pretty quick. I think I could. Let me be your 6th-string quarterback. let me hand it off to Juice and CMC and Debo. I'll say, hey Debo, just put the ball in the box. This is what I'll say. I'll say, Debo, put the ball in the box. What the hell that mean? I don't know. Just put the ball in the box. I'll tell Debo, put the ball in the box. Kiddo, put the ball in the box. Put the backpack on. I'll say, this is literally what I'll say in the huddle. Debo, put the ball in the box. Kiddo, put your backpack on. Put us in your book bag. Put us in your book bag. I'll literally just quote Debo out there when if I'm the quarterback. I'll literally quote Debo. Debo, put the ball in the box. Kiddo, put your backpack on. That's it. That's what I'll do. Any news on Purdy? Not yet. We're waiting. We're waiting results. We'll see. We'll get back on live. We'll talk about it. This is a good comment. Unlimited Joker says the 40 needed to start off next year on a roll and not start 3 and 4 again. This is a very, 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 very good comment. We talked about this last night. I agree. I want to get off to a better start. I mean, again, it was a great run. I love the 12 in a row. Like, oh my God, heroics, beautiful. It was great. But this shit's stressful. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was stressful. You guys are probably as stressed as me. It's stressful. I can imagine the players. That's a lot of pressure. You go on 12 games in a row, the pressure starts mounting. If you win like if you're like 6-2, 5-2, something like that to start the season, it's a little bit easier. You start racking up these wins, you might get the number 1 seed. You might go around and get the number 1 seed. A lot easier when you're at home. Like if that game was at Levi's last night, 100%, it's a little bit easier. So, a little bit easier. Pockets says CMC was willing to do anything. Yep, CMC, he put us in his Duffy. He did put us in his book bag. Shout out to CMC, man. The guy's amazing. The guy's phenomenal. I love him. I'm so happy to have this guy on the team. I'm still so happy that they made the trade. He said last night in his press conference that he was just grateful for being here. He was happy to be here. He's so thankful. I love CMC. He definitely tried to really help this team win. He even came out and put a quarterback helmet at one point and suited up at quarterback. Like that man did everything to help will this team to a win. And God, I got tremendous respect for Christian McCaffrey. Like this was one of the best trades I've ever seen in sports history. Like in sports history, this guy was just a phenomenal player. And honestly, I like CMC before this. When he was on Panthers, he was one of those guys in the league that you're like, you just respect him. And now that he's on the Niners, God, man, just amazing, good human being, a phenomenal player. I'm happy he's on the Niners, and he's definitely one of my favorite players, man. So amazing, man. It's amazing. It's good that we got him. I'm beyond grateful for that guy. So. A Goated says the defense was balling in the first half. That Johnson fumble hurt the soul. And that's so true. Defense was playing at a high level. Like if you really break down that game and you watch it, Jalen Hurts didn't do anything huge. They game planned well. They limited Hurts. They didn't have big plays. They didn't gash us. They didn't have the big AJ Brown. Oh my God, over the top. They didn't have those plays. They didn't really gas us with big plays. They kind of limited Hurts. What do you have? 121 yards passing off top. Is that what it was? 121 yards passing. They didn't do anything crazy. The defense got tired. Penalties were stupid. And then, okay, CMC, boom, big touchdown. Holy crap, we seized momentum. 3 penalties, they got a touchdown. And then after that, Josh Johnson fumbled it. That put the game away. That literally gave them all the momentum. Going into halftime, we were done. Josh Johnson fumbled. They put that game out of reach. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Is Debo's production on him or play calling? Play calling. At that point, hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta blow my. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is a good question. So a lot of people I saw last night too, they were saying, "Oh, Debo, he's half himself." again, last night, that offense it was a shell of what it could have been. You didn't really have a quarterback. The defense was just stuff in the box. They knew exactly what was coming at him. You could have threw Debo on the edge. You could have put him up the middle. You could have put CMC. It didn't really matter at that point. Last night was just, again, Kyle couldn't call plays last night. But overall, through the season, I mean, he was dealing with injuries, but a lot of it was play calling. They have a lot of good weapons on this team, and you got to figure out how to facilitate everybody. I think Debo, I mean, again, go back to that Seattle game. Debo put the team on his back, so he's capable of doing it. He's capable of playing at a high level. The problem is the scheme and sometimes the situations. You know, teams know that Debo is this electric runner, so they got to try to scheme him out. What he did last year was amazing. We didn't have anybody. Now we have a lot more weapons, so I feel like it's still hard for Kyle to figure out how to utilize all these guys. That's the only drawback of having all these weapons is how to kind of get them all mixing together. And the thing this season, and this is one thing you got to keep in consideration, we had 3 different quarterbacks. Debo didn't come into training camp, practicing with Trey. He was doing the contract situation. That might have limited his ability to get chemistry. Okay, Trey goes down. And he has Jimmy G. He has great chemistry with Jimmy. Debo got a little banged up, and then Jimmy goes down, and then Brock comes in. He didn't have a lot of chemistry with Brock. So the thing with Debo is he just really never got enough chemistry with any of the quarterbacks. So that was it. I think next season, off season, he'll come in, train. He'll get, good chemistry with whoever, and I think he'll be ready to go. I think he'll have a better season. But this year, it was weird for Debo. He never really got that time to gel with anybody. And then when Brock came in, Debo got hurt. So it was just a weird season for Debo. Where'd I get the SF logo from? Hex Art. I'll post it on the Instagram. It's like Hex Art. They make dope stuff. So the Rams fans are talking a lot, man. It's funny. Hey, Goda says I'd let Ward go. He should never have been. You know what? I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I like Jimmy Ward. He's a captain. He's a leader. I think he's gonna be gone again. I don't think we're gonna be able to keep him. I don't think we're gonna have enough money for him. But I'll tell you this, man. He played good in the nickel. Considering the fact that he was not a nickel, he's a safety, and he was thrown into the fire because they needed the best 11 players. He's a team player. He played good in the nickel, man. He made good plays. Early when he started as nickel, yeah, he wasn't great. He was limited. He definitely made some mistakes. But as the season went on, he figured to roll out. You could tell he watched the film, and he got better. He got better at that position. And he's versatile. He'll play safety. He could play nickel. He could do it. He may not have been an elite nickel, but he played good at nickel through the end of the season. I like Jimmy, man. Good leader, good captain. I hope they keep him. I think he improved at the nickel position, 100%. 100%. Charlie says he's a dog. He got that dog in him. Antonio says thoughts on that right tackle position. Let me see. 1-800 right tackle. Who do you got for right tackle for us? Oh, yeah, that doesn't. Oh, yikes! It's a mess. That's what I think about it. They got to figure it out. McGlinchey, great run. I don't care if you can protect the run because Kyle can find anybody to protect the run at tackle. You need to get a guy that can protect the quarterback. I don't care if you can protect the run because that's what everybody says. Oh, Mike's a great run block. He's a great run block. Look at him seal the run. And I get it. The 49ers are a running team. But you have to protect the passer, and that is an issue to me. Maybe not to you, but to me. Fix that up. Fix the right tackle spot. I agree. But the problem is there's not a lot of good right tackles on the market. There's no right tackles in the draft that are like, oh, my God, they're going to be elite right away. I don't know. They definitely got to address it. That's definitely a position that we're going to hear all off season. I think that they'll bring back Mike McGlinchey. I was talking to Cam Inman the other night on my live, and he says he thinks they're going to bring him back. He said he's the CEO of the locker room. That means they respect that boy. They respect that man. He's been a captain. He's been in this team for a long time. He's a vet. They respect him. Y'all don't. They do. Oh, shit, man. Eric says, will Kyle ever be able to win the big game? I hope so. I pray, because we want that title. We want to take that 6th. We were close. He's got to scale to Everest. He's got to scale Everest. You know, it took Andy Reid years and years and years and years to get to that point. And maybe it's going to take Kyle that time. So we'll see. I ain't lie. I never lie, Alyssa. I never lie. I ain't never told y'all to lie. Do I think the 49ers underestimated the Eagles pass rush? I think they underestimated their line, the trenches. As I tell you, this team, they pride themselves in being a very dominant, strong team. We're strong in the trenches. I honestly think that they probably thought they were just going to come out and bully them and then be more physical, because I thought so. I 100% was like, this 49ers team is so physical. They can bully these guys. I think the Niners did too. And as they should go in there confident, think that they're going to bully these Eagles. And I don't think they realized how strong the Eagles were. I mean, the Eagles won the trenches, 100% won the trenches, and that's why we lost this game. Well, other than having the quarterback. But bottom line, if you really scale the game, it was won in the trenches, and they bullied the shit out of the Niners. So, Unlimited Joker, this is a beautiful point. He's made good points today. I said this last night. The 49ers don't have a pass rush out of Nick Bosa. And it's not a disrespect to Samson Ebicam. It's not a disrespect to Charles Omenihu. We got breaking news, I think. It's not a slight to anybody. Really not. It's really not a slight to anybody on this team. It's just they're good depth, they're good rotation, they're good players, they're good role players, but they're not elite. It's not like you have look at the Eagles line. They had 5 players with multiple sacks, 10 sacks. He's like, you remember that 2019 season? Like, we look back and there was questions throughout the year. Is this D-line better than the 2019? If we're looking back, if we're going to be honest, looking at this game last night, and you look at that 2019 defensive line, no. This defensive line this year was not better than 2019. They had a bunch of guys that could get big-time sack production, and I hate to throw this man's name out there, D Ford. He was a great pass rush off the edge. He couldn't stay healthy if his life depended on it. If you gave him $1 billion to stay healthy, he wouldn't do it. He'd take the money and tell you could, then he'd gas you up, gaslight you, and post on social media some thirst traps like he's going to stay healthy and play, but he wouldn't. That's a whole other story. But the fact of the matter is, the point I'm trying to make is they had elite edge rushers, 2 solid Leos, and they don't. And no disrespect to Menahu and Ebicam, because they were really solid this year, but they're not elite. Samson Ebicam got no pass rush, but he just runs at the guy. Hopes he can knock him over. So that's it. We need a pass rusher off the edge. That's a big move for the edge. That's a big move for the offseason, and we need interior line help. That's it. But hey, don't be too upset. It was a good season. It was a magical run. Got to the NFC Championship with Mr. Irrelevant. So it is what it is. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. We'll be live a little bit later. I wanted to hop on, just kind of share my initial thoughts in the morning. And we talk about Demeco Ryans. We got breaking news when we open the live. Sorry for being late. We'll talk a lot more throughout the day. I want to say I love you. I respect y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for giving me the platform. We'll be live later. We got to find out what Brock Purdy's injury is. We'll come live and we'll talk about that 100%. And we'll see what else has happened. Hopefully Kyle Shanahan meets with the media today, and we'll discuss all that good stuff. So I wanted to come on live, hop on in the morning, a little morning show, a little fun stuff. And we'll talk about a lot more stuff. Save your questions. If you have questions, make sure you throw them at me later. Again, appreciate y'all. Love you. Have a good rest of your day. Bang, bang, not a gang.